Hi, in this tutorial I will explain how you can translate your AEM sites using Microsoft Translator. Uh, AEM comes with a demo version of Microsoft Machine Translator by which you can translate your site. This account cannot be used for business purpose, but for your learning purpose you can use this Microsoft Translator account. When you create language copies, there is a step available to create a translation project. If you remember in previous tutorial, I'll explain while creating these language copies, there was a step to create a translation project, or you can add your translation jobs or pages to existing translation project. So I explained this in previous video, but for the understanding, let me show you quickly one more time where that option is available. So when you create language copies, then you will get that option. So let me show you quickly. So you need to add pages. So just add one page just for your information. Okay, as soon as you click on this will come and you need to choose some languages. Choose some random languages. We'll not go with this. So here this is the option. Either you can create a multi-language translation project or add to existing projects. So while creating language copies, we created a project. You can add this translation to that project. Okay, this is the option. Where it will create a project, I'll show you. So let's cancel that for now because we already have that project created. You can later on also, if suppose you did not create project while creating language copies, later on also you can create that translation project. Okay, so let's cancel that and let me show you where is that. So on the start screen there is a one option available, projects. So here you will find that project what we created while creating language copies. Okay, this is our project. In this project you will find a few no, apart from the translation job, there's other options also available, but we'll focus only on the translation job. So because our we have four language copies, means five basically including English, but we are not going to translate English, we will not do anything with the English. So apart from English we have German, Hindi, French and Spanish. So when we created that project, means when we created these language copies, this project getting created with four translation jobs, right? So let me show you uh, what actually the translation job contain. If you click on this, if you see there is a pages, assets, content fragments, I18 direct, dictionary and tags. You can translate all this stuff using this translator. Okay, this will be using the Microsoft translator. You can use your own translator if you have, but for the demo purpose we will be using the default the translator which comes with AEM itself. Okay, so how you will be translating that? So it's pretty straightforward. So before translation, let me show you the pages. Okay, so these my language copies and we did not translate anything, right? So let me translate this. Let as soon as we run these scripts or these jobs, those will translate these existing pages. Okay, it is showing four pages, so let me show you what are those pages. Why? Okay, let's go back. And to start translation you just need to click on this arrow and you just start translation, right? Same thing you can do for all. Basically this is a workflow. This is translation in progress. If you refresh it, all are approved, right? Ready for review and approved, because it's a demo account, so no need interaction to approve or not. So it is approved means it is done. You can just click and complete. You can complete all. So you will be seeing here all these language has been translated. I was written Hindi in English, so now it's in Hindi, Francis, and all this has been translated. Okay, so all the other pages also translated. So I guess the spelling is wrong. That's why it's not translated, but all the other titles have been translated, right? Okay, so let's check Hindi. Let's open that page. Okay, even if you see that title also has been translated. Earlier it was, English, it's author bio, it's translated to Hindi. But the problem, if you see here, my component has not translated yet, right? So it translated all the properties which by default comes with AEM. You seeing the page title has been translated because this is basically the out of box page title, right? What we wrote. So but our component are not translated. So to translate our component, what we have to do basically, we have to add our component properties to the translation rules. Where those rules are basically the rules contain in libs, conf or apps, right? I'll show you where it is. So priority will be given to the conf.global. Let me show you where it is and how to write those rules. Okay, so to add your own translation rule, you have to go tools and then operations. No, let me find it where it is. Okay, this is the tools general and then translation configuration. Inside translation configuration, because I'm translating my content, so let's go to the content and then edit. Okay, now you will see the three tabs: properties, filters and references. So for now let's focus, because we are covering the basic stuff, let's focus on the properties. So there is a accordion kind of functionality, which general, which by which you can add your generic properties, like whatever the properties you will be using in multiple components, you can use that. It's up to you, right? So for that I will add my own component in a different section. You can add your components completely in different section. So there is an option available here called buttons, add component, sorry, right hand top, click on this. So it will ask you what is the path of your component, right? So what should be the path of this component? The path of this component should be the crxt, means where it is. So go to the apps, AEM geeks, and this components. Okay, this was my author, right? This is my path, right? But from this path remove slash apps. Okay, you just copy and remove this slash apps. If you're not aware how to get it, then simply you can go to the page, whatever the page we have. Okay, that's the page we are using. Language master, author, go till component where the component is, and there is a property called sling colon resource type. So you can simply copy this property, okay, and you can keep it. The same thing is there. So let's add it. So once you add that, you will see a different row available for our component, right? So in this you have to add your component properties, means the dialog name property, right? In dialog you have, okay, go to the component and check, either go to the component or node, the page node where the component drag and drop, you can find there as well. But these properties, right, first name, last name, whatever the dialog fields are, so these properties will be available over the page as well. When you drag and drop that component, you can see those. Okay, let me highlight those. Okay, so the property you will see here is this. You can, let me zoom in. So these are the basically the dialog properties what we use, the f name for the first name and L name for the last name and the books. So you need to add those properties. Okay, you will be seeing what I highlighted those. Okay, so let me go there and let me add first name. Okay, here f name, add, and that multi-field property is book, the multi-field which has a single field on it. Okay, so you saved it and just save this, right? Let me confirm one more time whether it's a save. Okay, we have these properties, right? Let's save it. Now let's translate again now. So for that, what you have to do now, this has been completed. So you cannot reinitialize those properties or the jobs basically. So what you can do, there is a button, add button is available on the right top. Add it. You will see the multiple options here. Means the workflows, launches, landing page. So and the translation job. That's why I said this project have many things. But let's focus on the translation jobs. Just click on the job and select. Okay, the fresh jobs will be created here. You will see here. Okay, so this job, first you need to add a target. Okay, for which language you want to run this translation job. You will have a drop down, but in this drop down only the languages will be available whatever you have in your projects. Okay, so I just wanted to do it for this Hindi. For one language you should have one job. Okay, just click save, and the page, which page do you want to translate? Okay, click on these dots, go here, click on the pages, asset pages, and go till that page which you want to translate. Go to Hindi, and this page I want to translate. Okay, as you select that, select, and then go back, translate, for refresh. So you will be seeing here in the pages there is a one page available now, right? One page selected here, right? Rest of the things are zero, and one I18 directory. We will discuss this later, means where this I18 directories has been created and all, when we will be having a detailed tutorial for the translation, only specific to the translation. Okay, now just uh, run this job the same way. Start. Okay, and just refresh. So it's approved. Just so complete. Okay, now you will see here, let me open that page again, let me refresh it, and open this page. See, the author name and last name has been translated to Hindi, and the books, right, whatever we had, if you open, after open also it will show in Hindi, right? Those had been translated. How easy it is. Now let's see where that file is. Means, as I told you, we have to write these rules. Means we wrote these rules using this, the UI or the console. Before 6.4 this console was not available, so this was added later. But being a developer, you should know where that file is or where the rules are written. Okay, let's go here, and uh, it should be in conf, because highest priority of that rules contain, if you have multiple files of those rules, the highest priority will be given to conf global settings, and there should be translation and rules. So you will be seeing here the one file. Let me zoom it. Okay, there is a one file called translation underscore rule.xml. Okay, just open it. So it will have many rules, right? A number of the rules available. But whatever we added, because if you check here, there are a lot of rules available which are out of box, which basically AEM added for their own components, right? AEM itself has few components and few generic properties like title and all. So for those, they have written so many existing rules. So where is our rule? Let me zoom it. Okay. So if you see here, okay, I cannot highlight this. Okay, let me highlight this. Okay, so I highlight this. Let me zoom it now. So if you see here, if one section is added for our component, there is a basically resource type node added. You will be seeing the highlighted section, and it's a component, and these are the properties, right? Whatever the name of our properties, first name, last name, and books. Books is the name of the property for multi-field. But this is the multi-field which has only one field, but we have other multi-fields which has more than one field, means like book name and all. So let me show you that. So if you go to the component here, okay, this was my multi-field which has only one field, but we have another multi-field which has each iteration has more than one field. So what should we add here, just to if you go in the component, Let me show you. Dialog. This is the basically the multi-field which has one field. Okay, a name in the field node. This is the name of it. Okay, you should be able to see here. But if you see here in the multi-field which has more than one field, each it has those child nodes as well. Okay, the name property definitely added on a field, but it has the child nodes, and each child node also has a name property. So the point here is, which you won't find generally in the all the tutorials, is how to add this. So ideally, as per the concept, this name should be added, right? Whatever is there, this book detail map. But for the multi-field, if you have child fields, like more than one field in a multi-field, rather than adding this, you should add your child properties, right? Child properties name. So we have book, subject, and publish in this multi-field, right? So whatever the name of this property, means this book property, this property, rather than adding completely whatever the name of this property, this property, and this property, we have to add these separately rather than the writing the name property of this whole multi-field. So this is the catch here, please keep in mind. Okay, so how I should write here is, go to, now either I can write here, or being a developer, just directly go to that file and update, because finally this file will go as a code base. Okay, so let me add two more. Basically publish here will not change. Okay, so go here, and the name property, change the name property. And what was the name? Let me check. It is book name. Okay, so book name, and the another subject is book subject. Okay, the last one, let me remove this, this is not used. Okay, just save it. Okay, save it. Now come back to the translator, this translation project. Now let me show you one more option. Either you can add this one more translation job to translate further by add option, or there is an option. Suppose you don't want to create, you can clone any job which has already run. So this was the job. This was the job ran for my earlier to translate this project, this job. Okay, so let me clone this job. Okay, I will go to this arrow and I will clone this. Okay, it will create one more job of same kind. It's created, right? The status is drafted. So let me run this, because I don't need to choose page now, because this is the clone of existing job. So let's just straight away run this job. Okay, refresh. It's changing the status, because basically a workflow is running behind the scene. Okay, it's approved and just complete. Okay, now because this translation job has been run, now this multi-field values, means multi-field properties, also should translate it, because I did not reload page. So these book one and subject one should also translate if it is ran properly. So let's refresh it, and if you see this, these has been translated, right? So by adding this, you should see here. Okay, so that way the important part is the multi-field properties, right? Because basically in even in the standard AEM documentation, they did not tell anything about the multi-field. So people get confused about multi-field in both kind of multi-fields, right? When you have single field and you have all the properties values in a single line as is as a array, then it's fine. But when you have node, different node, it's become complicated, and you don't understand how to add those. So you should add the child properties, right, as I show you. Keep in mind. So that way you can translate it. Okay, so I guess you understood how to, how to add these rules. And even if you go back and if you see this again, see these existing properties again added, even those properties, I added those properties in file directly, but that means it's a sync. Whatever you add there, those will come here, right? It's book name and book subject. Okay. Okay, let me explain one more thing. Suppose while creating language copies, you did not create the translation project. So later on also you can create, right? Go to this project and there is option create project or folder. So folder means you can create a one folder. Under that folder you can have projects, means multiple projects. So straight away I'm creating this project, right? So it's, it will ask you what kind of project you want. As I said, there's a multiple projects. I want to create a translation project, so let's create translation project. And this is the basic stuff like test project. Okay, second is important, where you have to define what is your translator, right? It says a machine translator, and translation provider is Microsoft because it's come, it's a default one. Source language, you have to define what is your source language to translate. Okay, this is my language, English is my source language, but it's not necessary, right? You can translate from Hindi to English as well, but ideally, in practical world, we create content in English, then we translate to other languages, but you are, you have option to do vice versa as well. Okay, the targeted languages, uh, now you can define which target language you want. Suppose you had five language copies, five copies in like German and all, so you can add those here as well. Like let me, if I search Hindi, okay, Hindi, that way. So that way you can add. So this will, whatever the languages you choose, it will create the translation jobs for those much of languages. And later on, let me show you completely. Okay, German. Let's add only two for now. Okay, everything is done. Let's create. Okay, so if you see there's a has been created project, and now there's a two job, but their job does not have any pages. So simply, as I explained earlier, just click on three dots plus button, add either whatever you want to add, assets, IET in dictionary, asset and pages without child or tag. So let's add this, and let's go to the master, and you can add all these three, right? You can select whatever the pages you want to select here. So let me select all, and either you go back or you can choose here, go to the test project. You see the four pages have been added, right? The four pages have been added. That way you can create the translation project and translation jobs even if you did not create while creating language copies. So I hope you understand how you can use the existing translation project, existing Microsoft machine translator, to translate your sites. And the important part is adding your rules, right? The This file you have to add your rules, right? Either that, if you are a developer, definitely you know how to do that. You can directly add those, and or you can go to this console, right? I hope you understood. uh, Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.